We are live at the final round of the Honda Classic, where for the second straight Sunday, 22-year-old Rory McIlroy tries to become the #1 ranked golfer in the world, but he had an early charge put to the gallery by the former #1 Tiger Woods, who began the day 9 shots off McIlroy's lead. That's a 27-footer for eagle at the par 5 third as Tiger went out in 4 under 31. More from him in just a moment. And then you've got Tom Gillis, the 43-year-old journeyman who's never won on the PGA Tour. Third at the par 5 third. Beautiful shot from the bunker. Birdie for Gillis to get to 10 under. And then there's Lee Westwood, who's got the best round of anyone going. Westwood 6 under on his round today to get to 7 under. That birdie at 14. Then Justin Rose trying to get into the mix. Long birdie try at the 7th as Rose began the day at 7 under, 4 off the lead, and that birdie at the 7th got him to 8 under. And then Tiger for birdie at the par 4 11th, and when this dropped, Tiger would get within 4 of McIlroy. But Tiger's been stuck on par since, and McIlroy has come to life a little bit. This was his second at the 8th. 427-yard par 4. This after 7 consecutive pars. McIlroy getting a good look for birdie to break that birdie drought. And so smooth, and McIlroy to 12 under with that birdie. So right now it's McIlroy by 3 over Gillis. So by the end of the day, the Honda Classic could usher in a brand new world order in golf. Golf Channel on NBC and the PGA Tour proudly present the race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's final round coverage of the 2012 Honda Classic. And we knew some weather was on the way today. This was the scene earlier as you see Tiger Woods and Ernie Els walking up the fairway, horn sounding, and the weather came and it brought some gusty winds. There's the scoreboard going down along the water alongside the 18th hole here, and a huge fierce storm ripped through, but it only lasted about 10 minutes. So it was a near 2-hour delay before they got things going again, and since then the weather has improved by the moment. Sun is out. Temperatures cooler, but the winds are here, and that means the bear trap is going to be even feistier today than it has the first 3 for sure. This was a moment ago. Tiger in the first leg of the infamous bear trap for par at the 15th. So Tiger stays at 7 under since he got within 4 of McIlroy with that birdie at 11. 4 straight pars for him. And so also a moment ago at the 10th, this was Gillis for par, at the moment the closest to McIlroy. But another bogey for Gillis. He has 2 in a row, and he's fallen to 8 under. So McIlroy's lead is all of a sudden 4 over Gillis and Rose. As we take a look at the current leaderboard, brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. So there is Tiger, who has ascended all the way into a tie for 4th at 7 under, but a full 5 behind, along with Westwood and Dickie Pride. You see Westwood with a 6 under round going. He's got a couple of holes left. Harris English, the promising young player who had designs of winning this tournament, off to a slow start, +3 in the early going, has faded to 6 under and is a full half dozen shots behind his playing competitor Rory McIlroy. So it's McIlroy, English, and Gillis in that final group as we get you over to the 17th, the long par 3. Difficult one, especially with these winds today, Gary.
Yeah, it certainly is, Dan. It's always a tough hole. Today's wind moving the ball toward the water on the right-hand side, although actually now helping slightly from the left. Lee Westwood with an 8-iron. Well, gallery seems to like it. And that's a beautifully played shot. We go back to 16. Tiger Woods on the tee at the par 4.
And the wind in and from the left, Gary. That's a very, very low. Looked like 3 wood up the left side.
And safely into the fairway. Big difference in this hole today. Now playing as the hardest on the course with the change in wind direction. Over at 11.
And this was a moment ago, Gary. Second for Justin Rose. Now tied for second, but again 4 back with Gillis.
Always a good strong hole here, and a good shot. It's makeable.
Rose in that second to last group as they are in threesomes. You can see McIlroy with English and Gillis there waiting for play to get ahead of them. And Johnny, huge day, big moment. We talked about it last week at the WGC Accenture Match Play Championship as Rory had a chance to ascend to the top spot, but lost to Hunter Mahan in the finals. But here he is right back and closing in on #1. He's rented a place here in the Palm Beach area, so maybe he saw those headlines as he got up today. He's a guy that has embraced the challenge. You heard he's always wanted to be the top-ranked golfer in the world, but admitted that he thought about it maybe a little bit too much last week. So today he's really trying to focus in on not let another one of these opportunities get by.
He's just played so amazingly well for such a long time. You know, hasn't shot over par in his last 28 stroke play rounds. Yeah, think about that one for a minute. Most of the time he's been in contention while he's shooting those 28 stroke play rounds. But he does need wins. You know, he just won one regular event, and of course the U.S. Open, but with record margins. But he needs the win, and then he needs that #1. And even though he's 22, he's got plenty of time to get it. But the bottom line in sports, if you got a chance to get it, you better get it.
Now you might think with the way he's been playing and that sheer talent that he has at 4 shots is too much to overcome. But we've got the Bear Trap coming up. We've got a windy day here at PGA National. So.
Well, the good news for Rory is he's not -8 on the back 9 this week, the best of anybody in the field. So he's on the back 9 now.
All right, so they're ready to go in that final group now, and this is Harris English, the young man who won a nationwide tour event last summer as an amateur. A very talented player, Roger, but a difficult opening 9 for English as he went out and +4 39.
And that was with a birdie at the 9th. A couple of double bogeys along the way. Also birdied 10. So he's gotten it back to +3. It's now a tee they've moved forward. Players just trying to lay the ball into position in the fairway here. It starts up the right, coming back. Good looking shot.
He has that big high backswing, gets a lot of leverage because the club's so high at the top of his backswing. Plus he's 6'3". I think that's his height.
This is the hole where Rory put his drive into the right rough and then escaped from that rough, barely got onto the surface of the green, and ended up pouring in a long birdie, which catapulted him through his back 9 yesterday.
Is that a west wind, Roger, right to left?
Yes, John, from the right. Of course, a different wind than they've been facing. We've been more left to right the first 3 days.
Just don't want to miss it right.
This is a low draw. Started it out right, bringing it back. This too looks good.
I like that stinger. He's using a lot of stingers. That's really nice.
Today, McIlroy is in the fairway at 11. And again, for the second straight weekend, has his sights set on the top spot in the world at the Honda Classic. Can we pick up the defending champion, Rory Sabatini, who you saw a score there, +7. Tough day for Rory today. He was at even to start the day, but
yeah, it's not the way you want to finish up a tournament.
only one player has successfully defended his Honda Classic title, and that was Jack Nicklaus back in the 70s, and we'll be visiting with Jack.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have him up here
a little bit later on as we go to 11, and Keegan Bradley for birdie. Bradley was looking for back-to-back birdies to start his back 9. And ahead to 16.
Brant Jobe playing his second shot from the left rough.
That's from 224, Gary. Surprisingly good lie.
Ooh, and lucky that ball got to the bunker.
Wow, that's close.
This hole has changed dramatically. Earlier in the week, players hitting irons, maybe 3-wood off the tee at the most. Short irons into the green, but not the case now, Dottie.
No, in fact, Ernie and Tiger with both with good tee shots. Ernie 198 yards remaining for a second, 192 to that upper deck.
Wind in and from the left?
Correct. Coming off a 3-putt bogey at the last. Saved par at 14 after missing the green and the fairway.
Seems to be swinging the club well, working with Claude Harmon III up at the Floridian, just up the road from here. Claude got him to open up a little bit, Johnny, get the ball back in his stance a little, and seems to be striking it quite solidly.
I mean, it looks like it's almost there, but somehow you got a lot of pieces of the puzzle you got to put together, don't you, Gary?
Well, it's not only just how you swing and how you strike the ball, it's how you putt and how you think as we go to 11.
Justin Rose tries to get something going here on the back nine to make a impact.
Should have learned from Keegan's. Goes a little bit to the right. Neither one of them kept it on the pro side of the putt. They were on the amateur side.
And back over to 16.
And Tiger getting ready with his second.
It's a second, Gary, with a 6-iron, 192 total.
It's a big 6, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be hard, I think, to get it up onto that upper deck. Unless he really flights it low.
Well, didn't flight it low, but it was solid at the center of the green.
Well, it's plenty far enough.
Oh, that's a big 6.
Yes, it is. And, actually, a makeable putt from there. Some right to left break to it.
Good news for you Tiger fans is Tiger's got his distance back since the new swing change. He's now hitting the ball as long as almost anybody on tour.
All right, we move over to 17, Westwood, for yet another birdie. This from just over 28 feet. Oh, is it there? Yes, it is.
What a
Lee
round.
Westwood, the 8 under par, 7 under par. His round today.
Yes, he's looking at a possible 62.
That is some impressive golf. 15 of 17 greens.
Man, in this wind, that's a heck of a round.
Back at 11.
Rory McIlroy took out Lee Westwood in the semifinals last week at the match play before eventually losing to Hunter Mahan, waiting for his second shot at 11. Multiple wins before the age of 23 in the PGA Tour since 1990. Tiger sets the pace there, way out in front of Sergio Garcia, but Rory trying to join Garcia with 3 wins as McIlroy turns 23 on May 4th. And we mentioned that Rory began the day with 7 consecutive pars, but if it wasn't for some nice par saving putts, he could have backed up a little bit. This was for par at the second. So that kind of kept the round from getting out of hand. And then he had another one, Johnny, at the 7th.
It was not striking the ball well, the front 9. It really wasn't. For him, very tentative. I think he was wanting this win so badly it was affecting his big game. But here's a nice birdie putt on 8 straight up the hill, no break at all.
So the putter was working on the front 9 for McIlroy as he went out in 1 under. Coming off par at 10, and now he's ready at 11. Roger?
And 171 yards left, and the hole cut in the front right portion of this green, snug up against the water. Wind coming hard from the right. Johnny, if you go with this one, you're pretty brave.
Yeah, that or another S word.
Yeah.
Stupid. But
now riding the wind right to left, Johnny. Looks like it's going to be deep here.
Yeah, that's a smart shot. A par here is a very good score. He's overcome one of the big problems he's going to have if he wants to win. It'd be this shot, and then 15 and 16 and 17. Those holes you can make a big number on.
Well, on the left, you've got Golf Channel's coverage of the bear trap, and you see Lee Westwood being shown there in his latest birdie. So got the guys on Golf Channel covering the bear trap in those 3 holes exclusively as we continue here with our full coverage. That's the spotlight coverage on the left. Ricky Fowler off the tee there, and back here on NBC for our full coverage, and Gillis is second from 167.
He's +1 today with the pressure on him. That's a big shot right here for him.
Yeah, this is on a brave line.
Oh yeah, very solid shot. He is a good iron player. I liked his iron game. Very smooth, never tries to hit it too hard. Takes off some of the spin when you do that, and which is good, especially in the wind.
But Gillis coming off a couple of bogeys in a row to drift 4 back. As we look at Charles Schwartzel second at the 12th, he's got it to 6 under.
Mr. Gorgeous Swinger. I mean, as far as a swing, that's as good as it gets. Shot wasn't bad either.
Off the stick.
So
Schwartzel could move it to 7 under, back at 11.
And Harris English from 165.
Well, if he birdies this one, Roger, I'm impressed. Birdie 9, 10. Is it going left?
This is flighted down and turning left.
Yeah, that's his miss, it seems like. Oh, that's that 1-hop spinner, but it just barely came out of that mark. So he's okay. Dangerous shot, though.
And Tiger taking a look at his putt for a birdie.
Must make, huh, Gary?
Yeah, Johnny, I think that would be accurate if he's going to have any chance at all. I did get a chance to look at Ernie Els' putt from that upper level as well. Els rolled it up there within about a foot of the hole and tapped it in, so he remains at even par.
Because Westwood's, you know, the group ahead of him, one shot ahead of him. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's got to look at Westwood. I got to get over him or catch up to him, because if Rory, the wheels fall off, I mean, Westwood's playing a round of his life almost for a regular tour event. So he's only got one win besides, you know, is it one or two wins? I'm sorry.
2 wins in the States.
Yeah, two wins. One way back at New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
In
Exactly.
98.
Dottie, the putt's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, it's got to move right to left.
It has to go left. It has to be quicker at the start than the finish. It's for a putt that breaks some. It's pretty right in front of you.
It's got the speed.
Good line, just too much speed.
Yeah, little firm, but.
Well, Rory McIlroy made a long birdie putt at this hole yesterday. Another long one here today.
And actually, the ball where it's right now is only about a yard from where he putted from yesterday. Of course, the hole in a different place. This is even a longer putt downhill. Will come across a ridge and then move to his left.
2-putt would be just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Holy mackerel. What a nice putt.
There's your 2-putt.
That's just what you want, huh, Roger?
Don't want to have to mark it and make those knee knockers.
16.
Just a moment ago, Tiger for his par. And kind of sneaks it in the left side. Brant Jobe unable to get it up and down from that right bunker. So he drops a shot back to 3 under, and we'll take another look at this one. And it just sneaks in the left side. Over 12.
Justin Rose approach.
That flagstick is way over there to the right.
It's like Rose is beginning to find it again, as the irons were way out of whack yesterday after being just total control the first 2 days.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense, did it?
And back over to 11. Gillis for birdie, Raj.
Pretty much on a similar line as that of Rory.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, it just crawls in on the left side. So Gillis, after back-to-back bogeys, will just not go away.
That's a very important putt for him, for his momentum and also for his confidence. It's like, well, okay, maybe I can turn it on now.
Yeah, he's back in a solo second, and Lee Westwood is working on a career low number here. This second at the par 5 18th from 254.
This is doable if he can hit a great shot.
Understand it went left, and so Westwood still with a chance to perhaps pick up a birdie and post 9 under, get within 3 of McIlroy, the leader at the Honda Classic.
At the 17th, Tiger has selected an 8-iron. A conversation, Dottie, with his caddy Joe LaCava. They are factoring in the wind and a little bit of a downhill shot. Trying to hit something about 165, it sounded like.
That's correct. He made his mind up pretty clearly and pretty early about this club, although there was a lot of discussion. They never changed clubs.
Oh, aim like, what, 20 feet left of the hole, Gary, and just try to hit it straight.
That's what it looks like.
Well, that's about where it started, and now it's starting to go right.
That's a good shot. Nice distance control in there, hole high. And a makeable putt from there. Just a little bit of left to right break.
Yeah, that was textbook. Took all the gamble out of it.
Over 12.
And Gillis, coming off the birdie, has the honor there. Time now for driving holes presented by TaylorMade, and a cut shot would work just fine here at this par 4, Johnny.
This is a dangerous hole. I mean, it really is. You got to be careful. He's hit some balls left, and there's an out of bounds just left to those bunkers that you see on your left side, and trees on the right. So this is an easy hole, quote unquote, but you better hit the fairway.
Well, going with less than driver here with the wind now helping the players for the first time this week. It's easy to get through the fairway on that left-hand side. That's a good-looking tee shot there.
Yeah, right up the right side, and it right into the
It's in there.
sprinkler head, it appears it is.
It's really over the left edge of the bunker.
So here's McIlroy. Gillis
The wind is
pulling
helping
within
off
3 with a
little
birdie
off
at the
left,
last.
mainly down. But it's down off there is a bit of touch off the left.
The freedom in his swing, Roger, is what's really fun to watch. A little like a young Seve, just take it back and let it go. I mean, there's no thinking. It's just, I can't wait to smash this ball.
So kid-like, the free-like sweeping motion, perfectly balanced.
Well, I think that's part of the fun of watching him. He is very kid-like when he plays. This now going up the left-hand side.
Uh-oh.
Well, up ahead at the green, we've got Rose eyeing a birdie to try to get into that time for second with Gillis.
Sort of slammed it.
So Rose is going to try to stay at 8 under, and let's go to 13. Mark Rolfing there.
Where Charles Schwartzel has positioned his tee shot nicely. Hit it a long way off this 13th tee. He's only got 53 yards to the hole. It is downwind today.
He's got the Al Geiberger swing, doesn't he? Just so beautiful. Just turn, turn.
Schwartzel has 3 double bogeys on his record for this week. Otherwise, he would be right there at the Honda Classic. McIlroy leads.
Westwood's second shot landed short left of the green at the par 5 18th. So the third as he tries to continue this red hot round.
Got to skirt it right along the edge there, and I'd say that might have been a little bit nervous for him. He's probably thinking, wow, I'm going to shoot a heck of a round.
Back over to 12 for Rose's par. And Justin stays in that tie for third with Westwood, and over to 13.
You can see Charles Schwartzel's shadow there behind him. That means this putt is straight down green from 24 feet.
You wanted it to break, but it's pretty straight, Mark.
Yeah, that grain going down will hold a putt on line, but as I mentioned before, he has made some big mistakes this week. Otherwise, he could be actually leading this tournament. Hitting the ball in the water today again at 5. Somehow managed a bogey there, but 3 other doubles this week for Schwartzel.
Good look at the 15th, and Davis Love, who had the first round lead after opening up with a 64, had an ace at the par 3 5th in that round.
So the wind's a big factor here. Supposedly.
Speaking of hole-in-ones and the possibilities, if you ace this 15th, you take home the new Honda CR-V right behind the teeing ground there.
It'd be a nice hole to knock a hole-in-one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just supposedly it's about on the Weather Channel says it's 23 miles an hour wind coming mostly out of the west. And so that's enough wind to really cause some problems if you don't hit a good solid shot.
82. 18
While he continues to contemplate that, we go to the 12 for McIlroy from the rough. Raj.
And got a wonderful break. Hit a spectator and kicked to the right back inside the ropes. It could have been much worse, but ball sitting down in the rough, and it's playing downwind, Johnny. So I think it precludes him from being able to go at the flag. I think he's got to go left toward the center of the green.
No,
This 169.
It's just a par shot here. Just don't miss it right in the bunker. Well, he hit up on that ball. When you're in the rough, folks, the last thing you want to do is belly out and hit up on it. You want to hit down on it and drive it in there. And when you hit up on it, you get too much grass between you and the club facing the ball, and it just doesn't go anywhere.
Now Davis at 15 with a 6-iron.
Solid strike there. Let's see if he had the guts to play it to the right.
Nope. Bunker on the left.
The older you get, the more you chicken out.
Up to 17.
See if Tiger can make another birdie.
First look, Gary, I didn't see a whole lot, but the grain is tugging it to the right.
Oh, there's the fist pump we haven't seen for a while.
Nice putt.
Just under 25 feet. Tiger Woods to 8 under par. And a par 5 left.
Where there are eagle possibilities, Gary, and a chance to get to a 10 under number. You never know.
Rory looks very solid right now, but if he could post 10 under, that would be something to get him to look at. And boy, that was just center cut. That was really pure.
That was a fist putt that just kind of said, finally, with a drop.
Well, he's made a couple of putts away from the hole today, which we have not seen of late.
And has also had some very close misses on the edge as well.
How about an eagle on 18, 2-3 finish?
Here's Westwood for a 62. The course record was set this week by Brian Harmon on Friday, and Westwood nearly dropped it in for the 62. He shot a 60 in the first round of the Thailand Golf Championship at the end of last year. So,
yeah, they've been just neck and neck. Tiger and Westwood played the first 3 rounds together, and they're hanging right there, together with the score. So Tiger's got a good chance though to pass him with a birdie. Or on 18.
And Westwood began the day tied for 27th. Now he's at the tie for third. Gillis second on the way at 12.
Somebody likes it.
Oh! Come on!
This happened while we were away. Third for McIlroy at the 12th.
Can he get another nice save, par save?
Pitches it up high in the air, and he's going to need another par save like he had on the front 9.
Not his best effort there.
Gillis went well right in the bunker. This was his third just earlier as well.
Love that knee flex he had there, and he kept the flex throughout the shot. That's really well played, and try to duplicate that if you're in the bunker.
He's been hanging in there very nicely. Tiger off the tee at 18 is crept into a tie for third with Westwood.
Really an important tee shot to make birdie or a possible eagle. No eagles today, but he's got the distance. What do you think might be the leader in total? Oh man, got away with it.
Crawled out of it.
What do you think is the leader in total driving this week? Try Tiger Woods. That's first time since the year 2000.
How about the 1990 Junior PGA Championship? Is that Tiger? Yes, at age 14. Taking on the bear trap in that tournament. You see in the background there as Tiger pours one in. Nota Begay, also a young teenager at the time, but it was Chris Couch, who was just 17 himself at the time, who went on to win with a 63. Tiger finished second, 10 shots back, putting the bag over the shoulder. And a look at Tiger in his early teens back at that Junior PGA.
Yeah, that's cool to look back at that.
Glimpse of the greatness to come. Now Rose at 13.
101-yard shot for Justin. Need to have a clean strike with that lofted club. Oh, and he got one.
What a shot.
That is a beauty. Back to 12.
Roger, can Rory do it again?
Well, we'll see. I mean, he made a beauty at 2 for par, beauty at 5 for par, and about a 15-footer for par at 7.
Got the green down and right.
The green is down and right, Johnny, but this putt doesn't want to move much. It really doesn't from this angle.
I thought it would probably be like left center maybe or something. It doesn't do much, right?
Right.
What an important putt, especially if he were to miss this and then hear the big roar by Tiger on 18.
Again, McIlroy's got the bear trap ahead. He has not dropped the shot today until now.
Yeah, this is a little turn of events.
So things bunch up after McIlroy's going to drop to 11 under.
You know, he said, Roger, all I want to do is hit fairways and greens, and it cost him missing this fairway.
It's going to bring Gillis back within a couple. Tiger within 3. Westwood is in the clubhouse, the leader at 8 under.
And of course, Tiger is through the bear trap.
Yep. As McIlroy turns in the first bogey in 23 holes. The quest for #1 at the Honda Classic continues.
This was just a moment ago. Tom Gillis on the tee with a fairway medal at 13, leaning as if it's headed a little bit right, which it was.
Got to get lucky now.
Well, it came up short of that tree, and you could just see the top of the ball, so it may not be too bad. That is going to be the target for Gillis's second shot, where Justin Rose played his from the fairway bunker.
Good news, the right rough opens up this hole location, Mark, if he has no problem with the palm trees.
It looked to me like he might actually have an avenue. Now, Rose here, Johnny, has a putt where the grain is definitely going to affect this one. It wouldn't appear like there's much break here, but he needs to start this on the right edge.
This would be a nice sandy, huh? Double sandy, maybe. Birdie.
Bear trap up ahead, you never know. That's a good one. So there you can see the name Justin Rose now in a two-way tie for second. Now McIlroy on the tee. Hit it right here yesterday. Little twirl to the club from Rory. That's a good one.
Yeah, a lot of these young kids have picked up the Tiger twirl.
Last 64 or better, 2009 BMW Championship in the 3rd round, shot that 62. Today 6 under through 17 holes, and a reminder that this is a par 70 golf course. And as Tiger can birdie this hole for a 63, eagle for a 62.
Yeah.
More importantly, post that number that is going to get everybody on the golf course something to think about.
And a lot of excitement will run through the course if he happens to make birdie here and pass up Westwood, who's in with a 63, but he'll pass up Westwood by a shot. We'll put Tiger a smooth little 9 under.
Huge crowd has gotten even bigger in the last couple of moments with Tiger's arrival, and Ernie Els always helps a gallery as well, Dottie, as he gets ready for his second.
Absolutely, and a second of 248 yards, just a touch of a downhill lie. Ernie just recently made an honorary member up the road at Tequesta Country Club. Very quiet little golf community that he really likes visiting.
What is this club, Dottie? Can you tell?
I believe that this looks like a 5-wood with the loft on it, Johnny.
Yeah, it does. A small head. Doesn't look like he hit it very hard. Trying to play a little cut in there through the gap.
It's at the gap. Need to get up a little.
Well, he hit it right where he was trying to, but that's a tough little pitch shot right there. He didn't hit it deep enough, and now he's got that bunker. You got to skirt.
Now Tiger, Dottie.
It was just 200 yards to the front of the green, 218 total. Does have a hanging lie.
Don't you think, that cut that he was working on at the match play past the hole would be the shot?
Absolutely. What wind there is hurting, and maybe ever so slightly to the right.
It's the longest drive of the day. Cut the corner, 325 yards. Like I said, he was led this weekend best driver of the week. Gonna play this big old cut over to here if he can.
It is right at it.
I would say so, just on the right side of the green, that far for eagle. Well, if you don't think Tiger Woods is into this second shot, moment ago, 218, par 5 18th. Cut shot.
Go.
Right side of the hole.
This was a very difficult shot with that hanging lie he had. He had to do some things he couldn't do. Watch how he stays down on this, folks. Big high backswing, Beautiful. Look at how his head's right on top of the ball, almost ahead of the ball to get down to it. See how he stays down, and that left leg, how it's staying in there. Look at how long he stays in that position through the shot. He used to pop up out of those because I think that the left knee was having a problem. And that was really a heck of a shot with that tough lie.
Began the day 9 shots behind this guy, McIlroy.
From 92 yards, 13th fairway. The ball will spin back if you carry it past the flag like that.
Nice
Good shot.
downhill putt.
Yep, straight downhill and down green.
Yeah, that's a birdie putt there.
Ernie also came up short with his second, Dottie.
And you're right. This is an awkward pitch, especially going pretty much downwind. Got to bring it across the corner of the rough, the bunker, and then it is downhill the last 20 feet or so. Small hollow where the hole is cut.
A little pop up in the air, pop and run.
An awfully good sound to it.
Yeah, that was a slick shot right there.
And a good chance for Ernie to pick up just his second birdie of the day, and that lone birdie coming all the way back at the 4th. Chance to get into red numbers for the tournament. Over to 14.
Charles Schwartzel has a little more left for a par than he wanted. Just to stay at -7. Just snuck it in the right-hand corner. Ooh, sigh of relief as he goes to the bear trap.
Brant Jobe playing with Tiger and Ernie. This is a birdie attempt, Dottie.
It is. He was forced to lay up after hitting a poor drive into the right fairway bunker.
One more rotation, and Jobe would have gotten it to 4 under, but
He's saying, why did it stop?
he's at a front row seat to Tiger's latest Sunday charge, and again a charge that hasn't resulted in a win yet, but the last PGA Tour victory for Tiger, September of 2009, 903 days ago. Not saying he's going to get it if this eagle drops in, but it's going to make the chances a lot better.
Boy,
to post 10 under.
You talk about for confidence, Dottie, for Tiger, if he could somehow, if the great putt at 17 and finish 2-3 and make this putt, thinking I got a shot at winning this event, no doubt about it, if this goes in.
Yes, and to make a move on a hole that he has yet to birdie this week, it would be quite the exclamation point. And I think a lot of momentum going into next week's WGC event down at Doral.
Attended some 30% up at this Honda Classic. First time he's played here as a professional. Due in large part to his presence. This from just 8 feet for eagle to become the leader in the clubhouse at 10 under and get within 1.
It's a very easy putt, maybe right center.
Sundays he's come up short, and recently they've been well documented. But is Tiger Woods going to somehow figure out a way to win for the first time in a long time with a final round 62, the lowest final round of his PGA Tour career at the age of 36. One more look at this eagle.
This was center cut. What a hole. Got a good break on the tee shot between the bunkers up on the hill, and a super second and a super third.
He said the big crowds here in large part due to his presence, and they erupted with Tiger's second eagle of the day. Last time he had 2 eagles in the same round was the final round of the 2010 Masters. So there is the former #1 to the new #1, perhaps, over at 13 for birdie.
Dead center from McIlroy. That's an answer. I'm sure half a mile away he heard the roar, and he must have known what was going on up at 18. But he answered the call. Tiger heads to the scoring trailer after a magnificent round of 62. That's what we've been waiting for so long.
Tiger emerging from the scoring trailer where he just signed for a 62 to get to 10 under. Back at 14 is the man he's trying to chase down.
Important tee shot for McIlroy here. Tough driving hole, dogleg left. Big gaping bunker on the corner of the dogleg to the left, thick rough to the right. Oh, that's a good one and a good time to hit it.
Did you notice how smoothly he swung there?
Let's go down to Jimmy.
All right, thanks very much, Tiger. I guess all it took was separating you and Lee Westwood for you both to have those types of rounds. Is there more of a sense of kind of affirmation or a sense of relief that finally I got done what I've been working on so hard?
Well, the thing is, I've been hitting it like this. That's the thing. When it got windy out there early today, I said, you know what, I hit it just like I hit it really good in Oz late last year in the same kind of conditions, and there's no reason why I can't do it again today and putt like I did the last 2 days, and it all came together.
Lowest final round on the PGA Tour. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the day. Started at 2 under, very good start. This is the birdie putt on the 3rd hole. Excuse me, the eagle putt on the 3rd hole.
The big bird. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was just a little right to left. It broke about 6 inches from right to left. I was able to make that.
That got you to 4 under par. Then you came to the par 3 5th, and this is the tee shot.
Yeah, it was a 6-iron. I was just going to hit a low rider, and it worked out pretty good. I just chased it back up there. I left it just short of the hole, about 10 feet, and made it.
The 7th hole had been a tough one. This is the birdie putt. You hit it close.
Yeah, I had a nice 5-iron in there. Held it against the wind and landed flag high, rolled to there, and was able to make that.
Turned in 31. You're now 5 back of the lead. A birdie and 5 straight pars. Then you come to the bear trap. Final hole of the bear trap on 17.
Yeah, I figured I needed to go birdie at least to have a chance, because I saw Westy was ahead of me and made that putt. And here at 18, I was just trying to hit it at the tunnel there, just on the left edge of the green, and just rip it with a cut. Ironically enough, I kept telling myself this is almost the same situation I had in Canada in 2000. I turned out to be all right, and I hit a pretty good one there too.
And then this is the eagle putt.
Yeah, this was a tough little read. It was right to left early, then left to right at the end. Graham was going to take it at the end, so I was wiggling back and forth between right center, left center. It depends on how much the Graham was going to take it, and I played a little bit of wind, and I moved my read to about left center.
When was the last time that you can remember playing a round this complete?
Probably against Bads, at the President's Cup on the final day. I hit it and putted just as good.
And how hard will these bear trap holes be for those who are in front of you, Rory McIlroy specifically coming in? Yeah, well,
it's the shots aren't as long because they are playing somewhat downwind. Mm-hmm. So in essence, it's a little bit easier. Plus, you get the cush of slamming it into the wind and having it kind of hold on the edge of the green. So his natural fit's a little draw, so I think he should play those holes pretty good. All right, well, we'll wait and see. Tiger, congratulations. 4 birdies, 2 eagles, no bogeys. A spectacular day. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, man, thanks. All right, let's go out to the 14th.
Second shot now for the leader, Rory McIlroy.
Beautiful tee shot here. He leaves him 193 to the hole. Hole cut all the way in the rear portion of the green.
Choking down on it.
Another roar backs roar off.
Well, I can guarantee you, Mark, he heard the roar, and there was no mistaking what the roar was for back at the 13th green.
That last roar was a bogey putt by Dickie Pride at 15.
Blocked it, I think.
This is way right.
And that is in the thick rough and sits way down.
And that could be a Tiger sort of lock at impact. In other words, that's one of those shots that I think he's thinking about Tiger.
Now time for our FedEx Cup summary. As you take a look at the players in the final group, their starts on the PGA Tour. 2 wins for McIlroy. English and Gillis still looking for their first wins. Gillis has been looking a long time for the first win, and top 10s for Rory's been really the hottest player in the world with all those top 5 finishes in some 9 of his last events. Kyle Stanley, who missed the cut this week at the Honda Classic, still atop the FedEx Cup standings with more points at stake this week.
And that ball went down for Rory. He's got a tough up and in. He might only have a 1-shot lead after this hole.
Well, Justin Rose very much a part of it at 9 under, 2 under on his round as he looks at the first leg of the bear trap, Dottie.
And again, the conditions very much the same as they were when Tiger came through. The wind from the left. The right of the 2 palm trees is a really good target. This is a 7-iron. This is at the flagstick and now falling right.
Wow, what a miss. All that green left. That is not good. That's what can happen here at the bear trap.
Just the slightest miss. There's just no forgiving a poor swing, a poor shot, and Rose pays the price.
He got a shot at winning this event, and he does that.
He's not the first. He's not the last to feel that feeling at 15 or anywhere else in the bear trap. At 18, Ricky Fowler finishing up. It's been a good week for Ricky, who continues his quest for that first PGA Tour victory. 66 for Ricky today, his best of the week. Yeah, 6 under for the tournament.
Good plan, Ricky.
And back to 14.
And an interesting walk up here for Rory McIlroy, Roger.
And he didn't like what he saw when he got here. This ball really sitting deep in this rough. This is a nasty looking lie.
He must not have liked what he heard either, because it was unmistakable, the groan of the crowd with Justin Rose's tee shot that went in the water there at 15. So a lot going on in this corner of the golf course right now, and a lot going on in his head right now, I'd imagine. McIlroy.
Raj, is this one of those chunk and run shots?
Well, yeah, there's no way to get to the ball cleanly. I mean, you're going to have to play some kind of, you know, explosion shot, or you're going to get grass between the club face and the ball. So,
I mean, you're not going to play a bunker shot. That's what I'm saying. You just sort of hit down in it, let it just pop out and run.
I would think.
Tied for first in scrambling he is, and he will test that ranking right now. Harris English, I believe, is going to play first. He missed the green long and left.
Doesn't have much there, does he, Mark?
No, he doesn't. And I would think Rory, you know, the issue for Rory is if he hits a little too hard out of that rough, he would go through back over into the area just short of where Harris is playing from here. That is also very thick rough, and that's where Harris pitched it to. And a nightmare day for Harris English, but he will learn from it. And now McIlroy, they still can't find the ball. There it is.
Oh, literally, you've got to stand right over it, right on top of it to see it.
Yeah, they got some long rough in Ireland. I think it's not the first time he's tried this. Seems to be practicing with the open face, Raj, which he's got enough green. He doesn't need to do that.
Very difficult to get the club.
That is really good.
Final round of the Honda Classic. Rory McIlroy leads Tiger Woods by 2. Woods in the clubhouse after a round of 62, and McIlroy, after a brilliant third shot, has this putt for a par at 14.
And I can tell you, since that roar that came from 18, his intensity level seems to have gone way up.
What a save for McIlroy. And his reward? The Bears trap up ahead. Just prior to Rory making that par putt, this was Tom Gillis's third shot. Everybody's kind of forgotten about Gillis, but he is hanging tough at 9 under.
Of course, as the contenders get ready to get into the throes of the bear trap. That was your creation a few years back, and it's turned into really the signature mark of this entire tournament. Jack, good to see you, first of all.
Thanks, Dan.
What do you think? What do you make of
Johnny.
what you've seen today? 62 by Tiger, puts the pressure on Rory, and now he's headed to the first leg.
He's got his work cut out for him. I think if I would rather be, I think, frankly, in Tiger's position right now than Rory's. It's Rory's an awfully good player, and but he doesn't have the experience that Tiger's had, and he'll have some trouble. That wind's out there is tough, and it's a tough finish today.
I mean, he's in good shape. He's got 2-stroke lead on Woods, and he's got, of course, these tough holes coming up. 18's a birdie hole if he plays it right. But what would you if you're caddying for him, just tell him to play for pars, huh?
Well, you know it if you can make pars. That's the whole secret of the bear trap. Is what I did there was it was by accident. I mean the conditions made the bear trap, and they're not long holes. 16 was a fairly benign little par 3 that I put a little water on it, and the water was there, but I just brought it in a little closer. And 16 just a long par 4 that you really have to drive the ball and play. And then 17, all of a sudden we took it and put it on the water. Wow!
As far as Rory, you must be a fan of him right now. The guy plays very naturally, and he's got a beautiful swing and got good distance and seems to have it all.
I think he's got the most natural motion in the game today. I think he looks great going through the ball. Plays from the ground up, which I like to see somebody play from. He's not of big stature, so he needs to use all his body. He's a lot like Gary Player. Gary Player used all his body to play because he needed to use it all, and Roy does too.
Yeah, Gary Player with 40 yards, sorry.
Yeah, the guy that is chasing Rory at the moment, Tiger Woods, and of course we've been talking about this for years, his chase of your 18 major championships. You picked up your 15th major at the age of 38. Tiger is 36 right now. You've been asked this wherever you go, but what is your latest take and your latest feel on Tiger chasing your mark?
Well, it's probably the same as it's been the last 100 times I've asked that answered that question. I believe Tiger is a great player. I believe he's going to get his game back. I believe he's going to win. He's got too great a work ethic. He's got too great of a desire to want to win, not to do it. I mean, he's still a young guy, and today they can play longer than they did when I played. And I think the equipment allows you to do that, and of course the physical conditioning that these guys have is fantastic. So I expect Tiger to beat my record, but then again he's got to do it.
All right, Jack, stick with us here as we've got Justin Rose, who found that water for bogey now at 15.
Just moves a little right.
Come on. Yeah, it's a very good 4 for Rose. McIlroy still awaits that first leg at 15. Can he hold off Tiger Woods, who's in with a 62? The leader by 2, Rory McIlroy, finally teeing it up there after waiting more than 6 minutes after he holed out at the previous 14th. Here he is with a 7-iron.
And you talk about the perfect scenario for a guy that's 22. Everybody wants to coronate him #1. And Tiger shoots the 62. He's 2 strokes back. You got these great holes coming in. If he can sort of withstand this and hit quality shots, whoa, that set his confidence, Jack.
That would be a pretty nice way to be the #1 player in the world.
That's right. To be a #1,
pretty good wind there.
and you're going to have to play these 3 holes and 18 to be #1. So that's what #1 should do that.
This ball headed left and turning further left, going at the bunker.
Well, the good news, it did not bury, but that's a nervous shot, wasn't it, Jack?
That was not what he wanted.
Let's see what he did here. Might have rocked off and stayed there. Looks pretty good there, doesn't he, Jack? I mean, a lot of wrist cock there. Look at that.
He's on the ball.
Yeah, he is on top of the ball. And obviously at impact, he must have released early. Yep.
I think he just got the club a little bit behind him and flipped it a little bit.
They added a storybook type of scenario here. A guy that he's been compared to, Tiger Woods, since he was a teenager, who held the #1 spot for a total of more than 600 weeks in his career, Tiger.
We've actually just seen 2 terrible iron shots by Rory. One 60 feet right on the hole before, and another 60 feet left on this one. So obviously there's some nerves going on.
Well, there's always nerves going on, and I think that I said a minute ago, I says, if he can't do this, he shouldn't be number one. You know, but because if he's number one, he's going to have to earn it, and Tiger's making him earn it, and that's what this great game's all about.
Jack, here's a look at the champions on the bear trap and how they had fared. Sabatini, the only one of these recent champions here to be under par through these 3 holes, and Tiger played the bear trap -1 this week. Today, I should say. He played it 1 under, and here is Tom Gillis, and with Rose bogeying this hole earlier, Gillis is really the only other guy besides McIlroy that you'd think that Tiger need to worry about right now.
Yo, man! Put that English on it!
Gillis just keeps staying in it at 9 under, 3 back.
You got your little collection there. You got it.
And back out to the final member of this group, Harris English, who's been going through that motion turning of the shoulders with a club against him after having some problems today. 3 doubles by English, a bogey at 14. The latest drop shot has fallen all the way to 3 under.
Just wants to make a nice level shoulder turn. That's why that little practice drill.
Yeah, this is headed left as well.
He has a tendency to miss it left.
So McIlroy in that bunker. Can he get it up and down and stay at 12 under and stay 2 clear of Tiger? Scary bunker shot for Rory McIlroy in more ways than one, Raj.
Well, you can't miss it from the field of view. Right past the hole on his line of play is a big red stake signifying a lateral hazard.
The good news, there's been 6 guys in that bunker today, and 5 of them have got it up and in, Jack. So
wow,
little chunk and run here will do it. Just get it on the green and let it trickle down there.
Beat it thin.
That was chunked, and it is running.
Oh my gosh.
Well, how about the save he had on the previous hole, and this one could be another nice one for McIlroy, but still a little work left to stay at 12.
We talk about his ball striking, but he is #1 in scrambling this week. 18 out of 22. He's got it up and in. Take a look at it. It sounded clicky, didn't it?
Yeah, it sounded thin.
It was. He hit pretty close to the ball, but it must have been a rock that made it click. But that is really hitting close to that ball. That takes some guts.
Yeah, there are some pebbles in there that sprayed out from behind that blast.
We're going to need to work on that.
You can afford better sand, can't you?
We're going to need to work on that.
Meeting with the bear, with the ground superintendent.
About those rocks.
Tomorrow at 6 a.m.
That's a good shot, but it's got a pressure putt to finish it off.
Well, let's take one more look. We're going to zoom in real tight here and see if we can
you see a little rock.
Yeah, there you go. There's you can see the dark rock right there, and there it comes as it gets in between the club and the ball.
Yeah, you could hear the sound of that rock hitting. I thought he knocked it over the green from the sound.
English is second now. We'll keep it right here for Tom Gillis. And Jack, with the kind of career you've had, you got the opposite end of the spectrum here with a guy like Tom Gillis, 43-year-old journeyman, never won on the PGA Tour. He's done a heck of a job of hanging in here with the megastars that are just above him on the board right now with Woods and McIlroy.
He's done a great job. Tom's a delightful guy. He's
and a resident here in Palm Beach.
He's a resident. He's a member of our Bears Club and plays and practices out there. I think it's helped his game a lot. I think he's our golf course is a strong golf course, and we got a lot of good players that play out there, and I think he's had the ability to play against these guys a lot.
What, he's played in like 25 countries?
26 to be
He
exact.
might make as much this week as he's made in all those countries combined.
This is traveling. This putt is traveling. A little amped up. Gillis is going to have that coming back to stay at 9 under.
And it's got to be really nerve-wracking to see if he can hang in there. He's in 3rd place all by himself.
Gillis is away, next to play for par. Roger.
And I would think this putt coming back down the hill might turn just a shade to his left.
And how about the crazy par saves that Gillis turned in yesterday, Roger? It was just, we have never seen anything like it. You could use one right now.
Is this right edge putt, Jack? Inside
Not sure,
right?
Johnny.
Yeah. My notes,
should be. It looks,
my notes, Raj, said just what you said. Just definitely got a little grain to the left. Down and left. It's a good running putt. Should make it the way he putts.
Gillis continues to hang in, and we came into this week trying to treat this tournament like it was a Tuesday, and that mind game that he played with himself seems to still be working on Sunday here.
I mean, that is a clutch putt, you know, Jack, for a guy like him, have a chance to win this kind of money, and who knows what he might do in the next 2 holes.
And who knows what McIlroy is going to do here. He could slip to 11 under, and Gillis would be within 2, even with a par here, Roger.
And this a tough little putt. You know, obviously Jack stared down a few thousand of these in his life, but this is a little bit of a slicer to the right if not hit properly.
McIlroy down from 6 feet. He's perfect today inside 10 feet. 13 of 13, doing what it takes to become the #1 player in the world. We go to 16, Gary.
McIlroy on the tee, and the change in wind direction, Jack, has changed the complexity of this hole, playing about a half a stroke harder today than it did in the first 3 rounds.
Into and left to right wind, Gary.
Exactly.
This going left.
Uh-oh. Some thick, nasty rough over there in the bunker, but it's going to come up short, so that's okay.
Yeah, good angle and in the fairway.
Just leaves a lengthy second shot.
Well, that's why he hit 3 with to take that bunker out of play. Smart shot.
All right, Gillis will be next to play. Very rhythmical swing here. Jack never seems to try to hit the ball too hard or do something he can't do.
Well, he seems pretty relaxed all the time.
Going with the driver.
This starts down the left center and holding his line. Solid tee shot here.
Oh yeah, this is really good. He's gotten it out there where he'll have a much shorter second shot. And we'll go ahead to 17. Greg Chalmers on the tee here at the par 3. That is an 8-iron, so he'll be trying to play a left-handed draw, which will move the ball toward the water. Look out!
He hit that fat, Gary.
Well, that's what can happen here at the 17th. It is no gimme, that's for sure.
That's expensive.
Yeah. Rory McIlroy continues to hold on to the 2-shot lead over Tiger Woods. We'll be back to the Honda Classic after this. And here at 16, another international player, Justin Rose, had this birdie putt just earlier. Just under 40 feet, a little right to left break. And a good effort.
Well, there's a friendly bear in his haunches that greets all the players as they make their way through the bear trap. 15, 16, and 17. And Rory McIlroy, the leader of this tournament right now, is in the middle of that trap. And I tell you, it really plays on the psyche of these guys, Jack, especially with the tournament on the line. And McIlroy was able to save par at 15. And now he's got the last 2 legs to get through. 16, the easier of the par 3s that are on, that bookend it, but never lets up.
Yeah.
Yep, 17. Yep, but they never let up.
70 balls in the water this year. It's the least they've had in 6 years, but mostly because of the wind direction the first few days. And so that finish you created really has made this event very exciting every year. You just never know who's going to win until it's over.
You don't know, and the wind conditions change every day. If we played this tournament at a different time of year,
right,
I don't think you'd have that problem. But we're not playing at a different time of year. We're playing at this time of year. And when you're playing this time of year, it really plays havoc with the players.
What about this shot, Jack? You just want to get it on the green somewhere.
Well, I mean, he's so fortunate to be in the fairway here. He hit it over there and just hit that little neck. And I don't know what he's got. He's got a little over 200 yards, I would assume.
He's got 209, Jack. And, of course, the wind now that the whole dog leg's right is more from left to right than it is hurting now.
Yeah, that's not an easy shot, but the water really should not be a factor.
2 bad iron shots in a row. See what he's got here, Gary.
Starts a little right, trying to turn it back into the wind.
Well, this will be at the right center of the green.
Yeah, it's okay. It's on the lower level, so we're going to have to come up a steep slope, but not bad at all.
Well, Jack, I know you're very familiar with Rory. You've met him. You've had a chance to talk with him. And earlier this week, Rory entertained the media tent when he talked about another one of those chance meetings with you earlier this week. And here's what he had to say to the media gathering.
No, I mean, it's very nice for someone like Jack to say, so many nice things. And I actually bumped into him at lunch yesterday at the Bears Club, and he actually didn't recognize. He didn't have his glasses on, so he couldn't see who I was. So he's like, "Who's that? Who's that?" I was like, "It's me." Like, who? Me? Who? Rory. Oh, Rory. Okay.
Well, we want to set the record straight here, Jack. It wasn't a glasses issue, was it?
No, it's not a glasses issue. There's a glare in our men's locker room. There's a glare of the glass behind it. And anybody over by the glass and you're looking that way, you can't recognize anybody. And he, all the time I'm sitting there, says, "Who's over there?" And everybody else says, "Who's over there?" Rory was there, and he was in the glare, and I didn't have a clue who it was.
But it was at this Honda Classic a few years ago when Rory was playing it. Actually, they were in the mall parking lot. You drove up and said hello to Rory and his father. It was the first time they'd ever met you. Tell us about that.
I was driving out of the mall. It was the Gardens Mall, and I saw this Honda car drive in, and there was somebody driving the car with this mop of hair. And I said, that could only be one person. It had to be Rory McIlroy. Yeah. So I stopped, and his father got out of the car, and Roy came over. That's where I met Roy, and he was very nice. His father was very nice, and that started a friendship that I like Roy very much. He's a nice young man, handles himself well, and if he does get to #1, he's going to be a good representative for the game of golf as #1.
Yeah, everybody talks about these great young players and the power in the game. I mean, if you're 26, 27, 28 years old, I asked Arnie this, would you be afraid of playing these guys, Jack? Not a chance, huh?
Well, I don't think anybody's afraid of playing anybody, John. I've never been afraid of playing anybody. I might get beat, but I'm not going to be afraid of them. But anyway, you've got Roy, and you've got Charles, and you've got all
Keegan Bradley.
Keegan Bradley,
yep.
I mean, and you've got Luke Donald. I mean, you've got all these young guys that are terrific players, and they've learned how to win.
Right back to 16.
Gillis' second shot on the way.
This from 185. This at the center of the green.
Will not get onto the upper level either, so both Gillis and McIlroy will have long birdie putts. Stay with us. More final round action of the Honda Classic after this.
Welcome back. Final round of the 40th Honda Classic coming to a close here. Just a few groups left on the course. Tiger Woods in with his 62, the lowest PGA Tour round he's ever recorded, and that encompasses more than 1,000 rounds in Tiger's PGA Tour career. As you look at Justin Rose at 17.
Justin on the tee with a 7-iron.
Just saw Brian Harman hit a beautiful shot in here, rode the wind. This is very high, Gary, center of the green, now falling right.
And that'll just trickle into the primary cut of rough and kind of nestle down. And that rough has been an issue around the greens.
It's a pretty chunky looking line.
Yeah, sticky overseed.
Well, last night I had a chance to have a conversation with Rory McIlroy, Jack, and I asked him what the best piece of advice that you have given him since you met him a few years back. Here's what he had to say.
One thing that he always said to me was he felt like he felt a lot of people lost tournaments and give them to him rather than he going out and winning them. And I think that's something that I can definitely take into tomorrow, especially how tough this golf course plays. Not to make many mistakes, just make your pars, and it's one of those golf courses where if you just keep playing steady golf, then that could be good enough.
And Jack, he's really put that into practice today.
Well, I think that if you go back and look at tournaments, time after time after time, it's just the fellows just self-destructing, and your best players, they look at the leaderboard and they see the names on the leaderboard. If there's nobody recognized, they know just play. If you see Miller or Weiskopf or Palmer or Trevino or Watson, whatever it might be, then you maybe know, you say, hey, I need to play a little bit, but but it's always just try to play my game and try not to make dumb mistakes. And usually I found that worked out pretty well.
Good advice as we go back to 16.
And lengthy birdie putt for Tom Gillis up this steep slope, Raj.
And a slow one here into the green. Should swing a little left coming up over the rise, and then as loses speed back to the right.
Whoa! Boy, that was a good effort.
Now he's got a nervous one.
Because this ball started moving back to the right, he thought it might have a chance.
I don't think he's worried too much about nervous ones. I think he's trying to make some putts and win a golf tournament.
Yeah, he's a cool customer. He's went right over the edge. He says, "I'll mark it."
Well, Raj, very similar putt here now for McIlroy. Should have maybe learned a little something about the speed.
Agreed. I think he had to learn a little bit about the pace of the putt, certainly. And I think the read for him is certainly, definitely, it's going to go right when it gets on the back tier. But again, it's all about getting the speed right, getting it to the hole if you can.
Nice
Good
pace.
speed, yeah.
Yeah, nice pace. That's all you're looking for. Just a stress-free par. Grab it in the fairway, hit it on the green, walk up, tap it in. Just the game plan you gave him, Jack Nicklaus.
That was a Jack Nicklaus lag right there.
That's exactly right.
That would have been that's my favorite length putt that he's got left.
So McIlroy should have no problem making his par there at 16. He'll go to the 17th with a 2-shot lead when we come back.
And out to the 17th.
And Justin Rose playing his second ball. Just skipped into this long, sticky rough. And it's so easy to just not keep that club moving through it. Back at 16, Gillis has this little knee knocker for a par. Nicely done.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I tell you, he doesn't take a lot of time, Johnny, and just confidently rolls them right in. Ahead at 17, Keegan Bradley playing his third. His tee shot was left of the bunker, the left green side bunker, chipped it all the way across the green. And there's a souvenir to the crowd. Let's take another look. This baby was motoring. An unlikely par, and Keegan Bradley remains at 5 under. Another really nice young man, Jack.
He really is. He's a really nice young man, and he's gonna win a lot of golf tournaments.
Yeah. Have you had a conversation with Keegan?
talented.
You've given him some advice yet, or are you
Not
about
yet.
to?
No,
He's going to bring
actually,
a notebook, I think.
Actually, Keegan came to me earlier this week and asked me to sit down and talk.
Yeah, I think he's going to bring a notebook and take notes. I would too.
Whatever he wants to do, I'm delighted to help any of the young guys. I'm very flattered that they would want to talk to me.
All right, Brian Harmon has this putt for a 2. We haven't seen many here today.
Well, he had one great round this week.
Yeah, he sure did. 61 in the second round. A new course record at the time by 3 shots. That's pretty impressive on the PGA Tour. So Harmon has this little one for his par. He remains at 4 under. Tough start for him, though, today. Double bogey on the very first hole. Trying to record his best ever finish on the PGA Tour. He finished 20th at Pebble Beach a few weeks back. And McIlroy still waiting on the tee. And Justin Rose with this putt for a par, Dottie, is to remain in a tie for 4th place with Lee Westwood.
And like yesterday, he seems to be struggling with the irons coming down the stretch. He's missed 2 of the last 3 greens. Missed the fairway back at the 16th.
Yeah, it was a fairly weak effort there. Rose will drop back to 7 under par, which is where he started the day. We'll go back to the tee.
And an 8-iron in hand, Gary.
What's the wind, Roger?
Wind is helping and a little bit left to right. It's absolutely the friendliest wind you could have here, I think, because you have the luxury maybe of hitting it at that left bunker and keeping it short of it. It would be a much different story if the wind were coming the other way. Well, this is at that left bunker. See if it'll get down in front of it.
Well, it just hops in. Does appear to have a reasonable lie.
I think I'd rather have that lie than that rough lie we just saw.
Yes, I would agree. Certainly more predictable.
I frankly think he's relieved with that shot.
Yeah, I mean, 2-shot lead.
That was the shot of the tournament for him.
Yeah, they could have lost it right there.
Could have lost the golf tournament there. He's not going to win it here, but he could lose it.
This is a great story right here. Tom Gillis. Third place by himself, looking at $387,000 payday. A wife and a couple of children. It'd be a big deal for him.
This is a 7-iron. This is left at the hole, but right of McIlroy's ball. Beautiful shot.
Oh, that's very well done. Johnny actually even thought about quitting the game, did Tom Gillis, back in 2006. He didn't even finish in the top 100 on the money list of the Nationwide Tour, but he's persevered. McIlroy safely aboard at 17. And the final group making the walk around the water to the 17th green. Appreciative gallery. Yesterday, many chants of Rory as he got up to the green.
Gary, no doubt about it, the two most popular players here, Tiger, who earlier got into the 62, and this guy. And the more that America and the United States sees of Rory McIlroy, the more they like. And that has more to do with just his talented game, the way he conducts himself, and the way he is so likable. He's just a likable young man.
He's a good kid. He really is.
This will be, if he goes on to win, the first time Americans have won every tour event.
Yeah, 9 straight to start the year.
And there's been some amazing long leads and great compelling finishes. The tour has been really blessed with the finishes and the excitement on Sunday. Gary?
Yeah, it really has, John. Been some spectacular golf being played. A lot of great stories. I mean, Kyle Stanley coming back to win in Phoenix after kind of messing up things up on the final hole in San Diego. As we go up to 18.
And the third for the Masters champion Charles Schwartzel at 7 under right now, trying to improve on his position. Currently in a tie for 5th with Rose.
How good is that swing, Jack?
He's got a nice golf swing, doesn't he?
It's like an Al Geiberger swing.
He's got a beautiful golf swing. Very, very quiet body.
Yeah, just beautiful, right on plane. A lot of power for such an effortless motion.
Back at 17.
And it appears that Harris English will play first. And Raj, tough day for the young rookie.
Yeah, you know, he got behind early and made some mistakes and frankly looked a little bit nervous to me. Seemed to settle down in the middle of the round some and then made kind of a silly mistake and made double at the 11th. But other than that, he's held in there well.
7 over par. You know, guys are shooting 62s and 3s and you're 7 over. That's got spike marks all over your back.
Thank you.
Well, seems to have missed a number of shots to the left, Johnny, today, and I think that'll be something he'll have to address.
A little bit of a downhill lie ball below his feet here.
Well, that's very nicely done.
Well, he'll learn, guys.
Yeah, it's such a big setting, isn't it, that he's involved with so many people, and he began tied for 2nd and now tied for 18th.
Yeah, it was interesting, Johnny. He was saying he had never met McIlroy, that today on the range was going to be the first time that he'd ever had a chance to meet the young Irishman.
Quiet, please.
Raj, the lie appeared to be good.
The lie is perfect. You know, not a tough bunker shot. Got plenty of green to work with.
Ball above his feet. Easy to hit a little heavy, short, 12 feet.
That was just beautiful.
Oh, man. You know, Johnny, pretty amazing. Last week in Tucson, he was near the bottom of the field in the scrambling stats, and now 1 week later, he's leading the field. So obviously something happened in a short period of time.
It made this look easy. A very compact little swing on it, Jack. You like that?
A great swing. You know, I mean, Roger was talking about him having the stats last week of not being very good. He knew that. You can bet on it, and that's what good players do. They know that, and then they just sort of feed on it.
And you mentioned, Jack, that they learn. And I think he learned a heck of a lot at last year's Masters with that 54-hole lead by 4 and winning the U.S. Open coming back.
Well, you know, after the Masters, before the Masters, I saw him at the Memorial Tournament. I asked him if he learned anything. He says, I think so. I think I learned it. And he says, I think I know what to do. I says, okay, so after the Masters was over, I dropped him a note, and I said, okay, now you learned, obviously, going into it. And he says, did you learn anything else from winning? You know, what you learn from losing, you learn from winning. You learn from both of them, and it's a sword that you've got to understand.
That was for a 69 for Schwartzel with some 7 under.
All right, back at 17, Gillis birdie putt on the way. Should move a little right. He has been phenomenal on the greens this week. Johnny had made over 300 feet of putts through the first 3 rounds, and the new strokes gained on the green stat that the tour keeps. He was #1 in the field in that as well, gaining over 3 strokes around against the rest of the field.
You know, the guys that live in this area, they sure do well in these, the Arnold Palmer Invitational and for here and down in Doral. Learning how to, it took you a while, Jack, to learn to play Bermuda greens real well. And Watson never won on Bermuda till, what, did he ever win, or he won one finally?
Well, never won on the regular tour, but did manage to win in Tampa on the Champions Tour. Yeah.
Yeah, but it took him a long time. You know, the guys that are Bermuda experts, they do well down there.
Took me a long time to learn, John. I had an awful hard time winning in Florida. Then once you learn, once you figure out how to do it, you can do it.
As soon as you did your Greer Jones number that one year, right at the Jackie Gleason.
All right, nice up and down there for Harris English. Yeah, that was the year Johnny Wood had Jack birdied the last, 5 in a row to nip Greer.
That was a head shaker.
Couple of chip ins along the way.
I did a bunch of things that I shouldn't have done, but I did.
Yeah, that was
they all went in the hole.
That was really exciting for.
All right, big putt here, just over 3.5 feet.
Just the right center putt.
Okay. Another wonderful up and down, and Rory McIlroy, the luxury of a 2-shot lead as he goes to the final hole.
I'm impressed.
He's played well, hasn't he?
It's not so much he's played well, it's just he's scored well, you know.
He's managed it well. He's played within himself. He's sure he made some mistakes, but he put it where he could play. That's important.
All right, Tom Gillis taps in for his par. Remains at 9 under in 3rd place.
And he, speaking of Rory, has withstood some Tiger heat. And I thought it was interesting during the commercial, talking to both you, Jack and Johnny. You said you guys can never remember ever blowing a 2-shot lead at the 18th hole. So you would think that Rory has sealed the deal getting through the bear trap unscathed. You would think.
You don't want to blow one, that's for sure. It's something you got to figure out. Don't do that.
It's always nice having Jack up.
Always nice. Johnny, I know how you've respected Jack through the years. It's always a special time coming up to our tower, Jack. Great to see you.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate
our best to Barbara, all the work you do, not only with this tournament, but with the charities in the hospital.
Appreciate that very much. Thank you, guys.
That's a ditto there.
Thanks for your hospitality. Appreciate it. Nice being here.
And who knows, we could be seeing the next guy to rise to the #1 spot in the world and maybe someday challenge the great Jack Nicklaus's record in major championships. He's got one, and he captured, like Jack, his U.S. Open at the age of 22. So maybe Rory McIlroy is on his way to a special kind of career that everybody has thought he would have since he was a young teenager in Northern Ireland. Just one more hole left here to get through, and it's the par 5 18th. And Johnny, if you're his caddy, what kind of things do you tell him right here with a 2-shot lead?
Well, you know, the one thing you learn if you want to be a real winner is knowing when to put the pedal down and when to just basically downshift. And, you know, this hole, he does not need to hit a driver. He could, and he probably will. But the bottom line is he doesn't need it. He could play 3-wood, 7-iron, wedge. 2-putt and win. Doesn't matter if you win by 2, Jack. Jack's gone now, but the bottom line is, you know, you don't have to be real pretty. You don't want to. What you want to do is don't want to hit a driver and bury it under the lip of the bunker or something.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to give
Take
yourself
crazy
a
out of
chance
play.
that a bad break can cost you. But he's aiming right down the right center. Probably going to hit just a killed drive, Rod. That's a hit.
This is a beauty.
Yeah.
This is launched here.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's not a super hard tee shot, to be honest with you. Second shot's got some thinking involved, but he's got confidence with that driver.
A little off the left, Pablo.
As I said, Gillis is third place all by himself. He makes birdie. He ties for second with
Tiger's a 10
Tiger
under.
Woods. To tie Tiger would be big stuff.
Well, Tiger eagled this hole for his 62. Possible that Gillis could do that, get to 11 under, and be better than Tiger. And who knows what McIlroy has left here.
Get it, Gillis! Get it, Gillis!
This is a solid tee shot, starting up the left side, cutting a little bit. This is just fine.
Yeah, he's pretty impressive.
Gillis in good shape. McIlroy in really good shape. 2-shot lead over Tiger at the Honda Classic. Just a little more than an hour ago, Tiger posted a 62, the lowest round of his PGA Tour career, finishing birdie eagle. There he is just a short time ago, leaving the player dining area. He's not going to leave the grounds, obviously, until this is finished off here by Rory McIlroy, who has found the fairway at the par 5 18th with a 2-shot lead over Tiger. And this was just earlier in the group ahead of McIlroy. Justin Rose is third, currently at 7 under, and in a tie for 5th with Schwartzel.
Good shot.
Yep, good chance to break out of that tie, get to 8 under, and tie Westwood, who, by the way, shot a 63 today earlier. So a couple of low rounds by Tiger and Westwood. And just after Tiger posted that 62, McIlroy was facing the heat because he was not hitting greens necessarily, but he was getting up and down with a terrific short game. This was from the thick rough, Johnny, short of 14 with his third.
That might have been the tournament, really. After a terrible pushed iron shot from the fairway, he chunks it out of that long grass. You couldn't even see the ball as you looked straight down on it, and then he had enough presence to go ahead and drain this putt.
Really an outstanding up and down at that point to stay at 12 under. And then at 15, first leg of the bear trap, scary shot, water on the other side, and the old chunk and run works out from the bunker.
You could tell by the sound that there was a little rock between the club face and the ball, but after a very poor pulled iron shot, and he again makes this saving par putt. I mean, these are clutch putts.
One thing to get yourself within range, but another one to finish it off.
And Tiger Woods is used to having people wilt when he puts the pressure on him, and this guy's not wilting.
And again, Roger Maltby mentioned earlier that you could hear that Tiger roar eagle all the way around the golf course, including where McIlroy was at 13 at the time when it happened. That was a beautiful second shot at 17, which set up yet another par saver there. So McIlroy could have folded under the heat, really could have wilted, as you said. But
yeah, I mean, he missed 24 greens and he got it up and in 20 times out of 24 missed greens. That's number 1 in scrambling, and that's what won it for him. Not the beautiful towering drives and long irons at the pin. It's basically, from you kids out there, it's from 30 yards in. That's what did it for him.
And there it is, better than 80% in scrambling. So he is on the cusp of realizing a dream that he has dreamt since he was a little boy. Number 1 in the world. Gillis playing alongside is laying up, Raj.
Yeah, he's got 271 to the hole, so just laying the ball up down the fairway, trying to get it in position. And this is going up the right side. It'll be okay.
Not an easy layup.
That was a little bit of a push there, and that ball's sitting down. Bit of a squirter.
On the PGA Tour right now. Rose.
Oh, man, he hit it left edge. One thing you want to do on those putts inside of 5 feet is try to keep the ball inside the hole. In case it goes straight, it'll still go in. Guys that play it outside the edge are just asking for a lip out.
This is a bogey attempt for Keegan Bradley.
Bit of a tough day for him with all these guys playing well in the wind. He's 2 over par for the day, and this is for bogey, so at best he's going to shoot 73. So a costly final round.
Bradley was within touch of McIlroy beginning the day 4 back, but a 73 for Bradley.
Yeah, he's going to need to learn to hit more 3/4 shots and punches, Bradley, if he wants to be a truly great player. He just hits Sky King rips with the irons.
Well, Harris English is away in this final group, final 3 players on the course. Roger.
Has 241 to the front left opening of the green, 259 to the hole. Wind coming from the left, certainly has the power to get there. This isn't an issue.
Wind direction just left to right?
Left to right, yes, John. And again, the problem all day really for him has been misses left.
Got the ball just a tiny bit above his feet, which might make him pull it.
And this is going left, low and left for the gallery.
Yeah, he's gonna. That's a tough shot from there, but he's gonna have to address that. He just at impact, he's cupping his left wrist and kicking it left.
Exactly. Right there.
McIlroy laying up here, Raj.
Well, looks like he is. Has 253 to the hole, 235 to the very front left of the green.
Absolutely intelligent. He's not gaining anything by going at that green. Just hit it down the left center and hit a wedge up there and say thank you very much. Even with a 3-putt, thank you very much.
You got to wonder if that advice from Jack is still kind of ringing through his ears right now as he tries to put away the #1 ranking.
It's an exciting moment.
One last important, perhaps full swing for McIlroy here, 3rd at 18.
He's aiming 30 feet left. 30 feet left. Very smart. This is the anti-Kyle Stanley shot. That's what you want to do.
2-shot lead on the green in regulation.
That was very smart because you had trouble short, trouble right, trouble long, and he just said, forget all that.
Ever notice when things are really going well for Rory, he kind of has that strut. We saw it at Congressional last summer when he won by 8. He just kind of bobs up and down as if to say, not in a cocky way, but an assured way, here I come.
Didn't take much time there, just hit it like no problem. And here's the decision right here, Raj.
Well, the ball did sit down just a little bit like you said. He's got 110 and not much green to work with, and the question is how much spin can he get on it?
You wouldn't want to get a jumper going at the flag, would you?
No.
If you're right in the backwater.
Gillis needs a birdie to tie Tiger.
That's a smart shot. Played it 20 feet left of the hole. I'm very impressed with how he's handled the pressure because this is a bigger moment than he's ever had. This is a historical moment.
Yeah, the world of golf has been waiting a long time for this young man to ascend to the top spot. No disrespect at all to Luke Donald, who kind of in a bizarre way is just down the road, not playing in this tournament. That's not the way his schedule set up, but Luke Donald won both money lists last year, and very good #1 he's been. But last night I asked McIlroy about being #1 in the world and how far back he remembers first thinking about it.
If you look back at videos of me when I'm 10 or 11 years old, you know, the interviewer would say, you know, Roy, what do you want to do or what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always say I want to be the best golfer in the world and I want to win majors. And you know, I got one of those last year, was able to win my first major. So, you know, to add the #1 ranking to that would be very special.
Well, I mean, this is sort of a storybook finish. I mean, Tiger shoots the lowest final round he's ever shot, 62, puts all the pressure on him. He's battling for #1 and Tiger Woods, who's sitting in the clubhouse, and he gets all those up and ins to answer Tiger. And to me, that was the greatest part of it.
Sweet. It makes reaching the top that much sweeter. By the way, McIlroy has always defined those goals. Again, not only of getting to #1, but winning majors. And the guy that sat next to us just a few moments ago, Jack Nicklaus, kind of started that whole mindset of majors defining your career.
Yes, he did.
That #1 spot looks a lot better. The view up there with a major in your bag, where he's got one. And you just have to think that perhaps we are seeing him ascend to that top spot and stay there for who knows how long.
I mean, an amazing run. What's this, 11 weeks in a row that he's 10 times out of 11 weeks he's been in the top 3 or better. You know, I mean, that's unreal. That's like a Tiger run.
And again, to do it off last week, disappointing loss to Hunter Mahan of the match play, come right back the next week. A little bit like the Masters last year, come back disappointment and turn it into a coronation, which
he probably win next week too.
It's about to happen. Well, that ought to be a thrilling event in Miami if it turns out the way it could. So McIlroy for birdie.
Roger.
Just a cruiser here, John. Just get it down there somewhere.
Yeah, a little bit long, but it doesn't really matter. It's just.
And staying here this week, Johnny, we watched his father Jerry last year at the U.S. Open, walk with him every step of the way. His father was not at Augusta in person at the Masters last April when Rory had that collapse 4-shot lead through 54 holes. But he is here this week. Rory's mother is here this week. His girlfriend Caroline Wozniacki, the tennis player, the former #1 ranked tennis player in the world, is also here, as Gillis has this important try for birdie to tie Tiger for second.
Doesn't do much. Can he do it? Can he do it?
And a storybook kind of week for Gillis, who will have to wait another week for a win. But wow,
what a difference. Second place is $615,000 and third was $387,000. So now he's going to split that second. I'll tell you, you talk about a fun day for him. There's a happy man.
Best career finish for Gillis.
Look at that. It's like, I can't believe I made that.
Who lives 3 or 4 miles away here.
I mean, that was
in
huge.
Palm Beach Gardens. English now for his birdie.
And like we said, a tough day for English, 7 over.
He had to learn a lot today, though, John. Had to.
Yeah, that's you learn a lot, but some of the stuff you learn you don't want to learn.
Yeah, he's got the right stuff, though. I mean, he's won at every level. He's going to be fine. He learned a lot today.
I mentioned Wozniacki, and you see McIlroy, who's developed a physique now. I mean, when he first came out here, he made his stroke play PGA Tour debut in this Honda Classic a few years back as a skinny 19-year-old. You know, he is in full form now, and just an official putt away to win it and become the #1 player in the world.
Never missed a putt inside 10 feet today.
And McIlroy has finally realized his dream. He has ascended to the top of the world by winning the 2012 Honda Classic. Holds off Tiger Woods and Tom Gillis, who tie for second at 10 under.
Yeah, that was fun watching that. Watching him respond to Tiger and Westwood's great runs of 62 and 3.
And having your parents here. They'll be staying at the place in the build-up to the first major of the year. He's got more golf before that first major of the year at Augusta, because McIlroy will be in the field, as we mentioned, in Miami next week. And he's going to go there off his 3rd PGA Tour win. The win at Quail Hollow, the win at the U.S. Open, and now the Honda Classic, and the top ranking in the world. Winner by 2 over Tiger and Gillis. Westwood had a sensational round to finish 4 back. But it is Rory McIlroy who finishes off the Honda Classic. And no one stands above him in the world golf rankings at the age of 22. Rory and his father Jerry who, as we learned last year at the U.S. Open, Johnny likes to stay out of the limelight. Rory, an only child. He is just, you know, kind of let Rory do his own thing. And I know that's an incredibly proud moment to see your son not only win the U.S. Open last year by 8 shots, to be here while he ascends to the top spot. This is a nice historical day, as you mentioned earlier.
It is. You know, we were lucky enough. I've been doing this for 23 years to watch Tiger come out of the junior ranks and become #1 and do the amazing things he's done. And guys like Phil Mickelson, the same thing. And now we have another player of that caliber that's coming on the scene, and he's a fun guy. He's likable. He's got the great game, and you know, the way he hung in there when Woods posted that 62 and had all those up and ins. Boy, that was fun. We're going to show these highlights again, folks. Can't get enough of them.
Yeah, we're going to hear from Rory in just a second here, but this is how he fashioned this third PGA Tour career win. This is for par at the par 4 second.
And that was a pressure putt there over 12 feet. Just poured it right in there for a nice save.
And then a par attempt at 7. Again, this is the final round today.
Another one about 14 feet. Could have missed this. You know, could have gone off to a shaky start, and the putter saves him.
So he starts off the round with 7 straight pars. The lone birdie came at the 8th, thanks to the second shot there.
Yeah, he hits a good drive, and you know, he's right underneath there looking at the hole, fairly easy hole location, puts it underneath the hole. You see that beautiful finish. Hips are pointing left to the target. That's how free his body allows him to swing. And he puts it right there for a dead straight uphill putt around 10 feet.
McIlroy began the day 2 shots clear of English and Gillis, and when he made this one at 8, he moved it to 12 under par. And at the time had a 2-shot lead over Gillis. So he makes the turn in 1 under. Pars 10, 11, bogeys 12, and then comes back with his second at the 13th.
Yeah, after really a good drive, he hits a good iron just above the hole. And, you know, right now he doesn't realize that Tiger is fashioning an unbelievable eagle at 18.
Yeah, it's right about this time when Tiger's putting the charge through the gallery, but McIlroy with a birdie there to get to 12 under. But the real key shots, we showed him just a little while ago. This was the 3rd from the thick rough at 14.
Yeah, from the fairway, he blocks his iron 60, 70 feet right of the hole, probably because of what Woods had just done and challenging him at that point. And he chunks it out of there, runs it up there. Now he's got that pressure putt on Dan, and no problem. Puts it.
Runs it in to stay at 12 under, but that would not be the end of the drama by McIlroy and the par putt saving abilities that he showed throughout the day at the bear trap. First leg 15.
You can hear the sound there. Got a little rock coming out of there, but you know, he had trouble with these holes last year, didn't he? And I guess he said, I'm not going in the water. I'll go in the bunker, but I'm not going in the water with a 2-stroke lead.
So many mature signs from Rory today. And then the second at 17 after he put his tee shot on the bunker at that par 3, the final leg of the trap.
Again, he says, I'm going to hit that tee shot left, I guess, and take the water out of play. I'll take my chances from the bunker.
So the winning putt at 18, McIlroy putting it away. By the way, 3 under on the bear trap this week, no bogeys. He was plus 16 on the 3 holes the previous 3 years. So again, as Rory McIlroy ascends to the top spot on the world golf rankings, Johnny, I think, you know, we've known about his ability for a long time. One of the big differences that Rory's talked about as of late is how he feels much more comfortable, much more mature. He's much more on the limelight, we know that, and is going to be even more so now that he's the #1 player in the world.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see what he does now that he's #1. You know, I think that he's the real deal. I mean, he's just going to get better. He's getting better and better, and he could have a run where he separates himself from #2 and 3. I could see him doing that. So it's been a lot of fun watching this ascension, and I think it's just going to get better.
And we're going to hear from the new #1 in the world of golf, Rory McIlroy, when we return to the Honda Classic. Stay with us.
This is where I want to be. This is why I play golf, to put myself in the contention to win big tournaments and try and become the best player in the world.
And this week, all of that comes true at the Honda Classic, where the 22-year-old from Northern Ireland becomes the 2nd youngest to reach the #1 spot. Tiger Woods, 21 years old in June of 1997, and a lot of people who think that Rory might have that similar special kind of ability that Tiger exhibited for so many years may be there just as long. The rain begins with his father, who watched it all, and we go down to the 18th green where Jimmy's standing by with a champion. Jimmy.
All right, Dan Hicks, thanks very much. So many people to thank. What a spectacular week here once again at in West Palm Beach. So many people to thank. Why don't we start by thanking Barbara Nicklaus, Gary Nicklaus, the great work they do for charity here in the Palm Beaches, Ken Kennerly and Ed McEnroe for putting a great tournament together, and of course our host here, the American Honda Motor Company. And let me bring in first Mr. Steve Murakawa to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. First of all, I'd like to thank the Nicklaus Children's Healthcare Foundation and the PGA National Resort for hosting us to a great tournament weekend. We had a great time here this week, and hope the golfers did too. And now, on behalf of American Honda, our associates, our dealers across the country, our business partners, especially the fans here and all of the volunteers for helping us put on a great tournament, I'd like to present the championship trophy to Rory McIlroy. We're very proud of you to have you as our 2012 Honda Classic champion. Thank you, Rory. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you.
Rory, why don't you put that down, and let's have a chat here for a moment. You are the 16th different player to become the #1 player in the world. First and foremost, I know that this is a great honor to win this tournament, but let me get your reaction to that. You've been working to that your entire life, even though it's only been 22 years.
Yeah, you know, first and foremost, I think it's just great to win this tournament. You know, it's got a long history and a long history with the PGA Tour, and I think on behalf of all the players, I'd like to thank everyone involved, and especially the Nicklaus family and the Children's Hospital here. You know, they do so much great work for everyone, and you know, on behalf of the players, I just want to say thank you.
They say that one of the hardest things to do in sports is to win when people expect you to win. How challenging was this week for you?
It was tough today, especially when you know, seeing Tiger make a charge. You know, seeing him post 10 under, I thought, you know, I knew, you know, par golf would probably be good enough today, and you know, that's what I was trying to do. And you know, to shoot one under par in these conditions when you know you go in the round with the lead is very nice, and you know, I was just able to get the job done.
Today, it wasn't for you about going low, but it was about not going high. Time and time again, you were able to get up and down. Your short game is what got you here today. Your thoughts on that? Yeah, my short game all week has been very good, and it's what you need on a tough golf course like this. You know you're not going to hit many, well, you're not going to hit every green, and you know, when you do put yourself in a bit of bother, you need to get it up and down, and you know, I was able to do that on especially 15 and 17 today when I needed to make pars there, and you know, my short game, you know, felt great all week, and it definitely saved me a few times today. Certainly did. A spectacular week for you, not only champion here at Honda, but also the new #1 player in the world. Congratulations. Let's go back to Dan Hicks.
Thank you, Jimmy. And Rory, member of the PGA Tour this year, so he gets FedEx Cup points, and with this victory ascends to the #4 spot, just behind Wilson, Wagner, and Kyle Stanley. I think he will take pride in the fact that he knew what Tiger was doing out there. I mean, you could hear the roars all over the golf course, so to do it with Tiger Woods bringing that vintage heat is pretty darn impressive. So here's what happened at the last. Tiger needed an eagle to post 10 under, had a beautiful second shot from 218 yards to this point and buried it.
Absolutely. Finished 2-3, birdie eagle, second eagle of the day to put the heat on Rory big time. You know, with Tiger being 10 under par, but Rory, he misses 25 greens and he gets it up and in 21 out of 25 times. Best of anybody in the field this week. Hit a lot of good shots also, but it was that short game that did it, and the guts, you know. So you really had two things happen today. You had Rory getting to #1, and maybe we've seen Tiger all of a sudden open the floodgates. So watch out for that 1-2 punch.
Rory is his mom and dad here. Caroline Wozniacki, who he's been dating since last summer. The former #1 player in the world, left early. She was here earlier this week. She's got a tennis tournament up at Madison Square Garden. And we understand that's where Rory is headed tonight. So that'll be a nice embrace and congratulations from his girlfriend. Sam Flood is the executive producer of NBC Sports. The telecast produced by Tommy Roy and co-produced by Tom Randolph and directed by Doug Graber. 40th Honda Classic certainly did not lack for drama. as Tiger Woods teeing it up as a professional for the first time at the Honda Classic in his hometown, gave Rory McIlroy a little scare and a little jolt in the final round with that 62, the lowest round of his 1,000-round plus PGA Tour career. But in the end, it was McIlroy who was able to hold him off here in Palm Beach Gardens. And thanks to all the gentlemen, ladies of our crew, as we have our second leg of the swing here complete as we head to Miami next week. And if you missed any of today's action, you can get caught up on Golf Channel's Golf Central. And again, speaking of the WGC Cadillac Championship, Tiger, Phil, Rory will be there. Coverage begins Thursday, and Golf Channel continues Saturday at 2 Eastern Time on NBC. And then tonight, it's an all-new episode of Dateline, followed by an all-new Celebrity Apprentice. For our entire crew, Dottie Pepper, Gary Koch, Roger Maltby, Jimmy Roberts, Mark Rolfing, and Johnny Miller. Dan Hicks, so long from PGA National. There is your new #1.